Namaste, everyone. So I wanted to share my thoughts on an excellent question that arose in satsang the other day. And it concerns what one might call the divine experience or spiritual experience. So I'll read the question and then I'll try to address it in as many practical ways as possible. Okay. So the question is, a strong desire for divine experience is found in all aspirants. It can be an important part of our motivation, but just how important is it in the sadhana towards the ultimate goal? Is it just a landmark, a sign that one is on the right track, or is it more than that? Is it always accompanied by gyan? What are other complications involved? So an excellent question, really gets to the point. And of course, this is not the first time that this question, I'm sure, has arisen in many of your minds who are practicing sincerely on this sadhana path. But even so, it's nicely worded, and it's pretty comprehensive because it's a multi-part question. So anyway, my first response to this was, what do we mean by divine experience? And I say that not with a view to in any way give less importance to obviously what is in the questioner's mind, but more to give us a sense of a more comprehensive understanding of divine experience, and also so that we can open our minds to thinking of it in different ways. So the first kind of point to note is that what we think of as divine experience, it depends on the mind of the aspirant or the sadhak. So one aspirant at one level may think that going to the temple, that God is in the temple, and so going to a divine experience is obtained when one visits temples or goes on holy places of pilgrimage. This is not entirely wrong, and if one undertakes a visit to some of the very famous holy places, temples, and if you sit there, because of the fact that much spiritual practice and meditation has been done in these places, there are special experiences that can be had. But at the same time, it can be done fairly superficially, and in that case, it represents an early phase of development. Another aspirant may think that the temple is at home, and so divine experience is puja of the murtis at home. This is a progress of sorts, and definitely again when puja, when well performed, can give that divine experience or a homam at home. The next level, you may say, is that another one who thinks that the temple is the body itself and God is within, and this is a significant development, and such an aspirant starts to look for God within. So the true self, if you want to call it spiritual experience, or the divine experience, that the Lord is within, and to seek that. And obviously, the questioner is asking from this perspective, but nevertheless, it's important to remember what happens when that experience is had. So when that divine experience is had, then the mind sees God everywhere and in everything at all times. And this is the state of the three gurus. So, and in that situation, the first experience that I mentioned is also divine. The second, seeing God at home or within, they all become uniformly the same experience. So then all experience is divine experience, and there is no experience that is not divine. And that's, of course, a very advanced state. And that does not diminish the importance of this question. So when the mind is made crystal clear, it sees all experience as divine experience. And so obviously the access of divine experience depends on practice and purity of the mind. So to reach that state of Sahaja Samadhi of Sri Ramana Maharshi and the other great gurus obviously requires two kinds of practice. One is the actual meditation practice, and the other is purifying the mind. And an important question that often arises in aspirants is, should I purify first and then practice? Should I practice and purify? And in all cases, one should commence a practice, ideally under the guidance of a guru. And that practice itself purifies the mind, and purification of the mind leads to greater depth and intensity and deeper experiences in the practice. So you may say this is kind of an introduction to this point of Anubhava, and then we will continue and look at different aspects of it in subsequent discussions.